All right, that's enough of that.
I was just about going to go into my solo there. Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
Next time. I figured out how to play songs in the live stream. All right, or fucking videos too. That's awesome. So that was Monster Truck. She's a Witch. That was what we used to use before Dirt Road Scholars gave us their stuff. So John, you need to get us a video of you guys playing that intro. So, but yeah, guys, welcome to what are we? Episode 2 of I almost said gunning around, the first Focal Plane podcast. Kurt, sorry, dude, I took your spot.
Did you? All right. Welcome, despite all that, welcome to First Focal Plane Podcast, Episode 2, recorded live via the socials. Where, in the immortal words of Matt Shirley, nip slips cost extra. Sorry, Matt, we don't want wardrobe malfunctions tonight. Or do we?
All right, I'm out.
We lost one.
I was promised that.
We
It must have been a different contract.
Yeah, we got to drink more of that Berta Premium before that starts happening.
Right.
All right. First Focal Plane is once again proudly brought to you by EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta. EM Precision is one of Canada's premier precision and long-range rifle builders, established in 2014. From lightweight hunting rifles and precision starter packages to extreme long-range boomers, EM Precision has the expertise to get you up and running with confidence. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and of course their website at emprifles.ca.
You bet. Hey, you didn't miss a beat there, Kurt. Way to go. Good job.
Not just one nip slip. That's all.
Oh, I missed it. Fuck. Well, speaking of nip slips, our guests today are Rob and Ryan. That was terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I love it. I love it. Keep it.
All's fair.
Yeah.
So
I've been called worse.
Haven't we all? But Rob and Ryan are from the fantastic shop Gothic Line Armoury, based out of the great city of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to the shit show, boys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us.
So, yeah.
Beauty. All right. Who are we? Sean.
I am Scene. I am an ag equipment service specialist, father of a beautiful child. Recently decided to chase the dragon with supplementing my loss of AR-15s with long-range boomsticks. So that's me.
Matt,
Welcome.
what do you got?
Well, I mean, other than the obvious, a bigger beard than you.
Whoa.
Blood drawn. I'm a single father. I got an amazing girlfriend that does not give me too much shit about buying too many guns.
Too much.
Is she watching right now? You're looking
Oh,
off to the
she's sitting on the
side.
couch beside me.
Nice. Well, okay, let's keep that to the minimum. You paid $200 for each gun, right? That's how.
Yeah.
Right.
So Matt is our guest host for the week. So the man, the myth, the legend. Director, Regina Fish and Game League, right?
Yep.
Nice. And I volunteered you to come help me with some stuff.
Once in a while.
Once in a while, yeah, right on. So, Rob, who are you?
Calf vet, gun passion. Love guns, motorcycles, off-road shit, camping, and just all around Alberta, good old boy redneck.
Just basic dude stuff.
Basic dude shit right there. Yeah.
Ryan, what do you got?
Yeah, Army veteran, just like Rob. I husband, father, shooter. I'm also back at school at the ripe old age of 36. So that's also a whole other thing going on. But yeah,
Not a midlife crisis like I got going.
no,
At 36.
no, this is
What I wouldn't do to be 36 again. It's like 28 years ago for me. Fuck.
It's going to turn into a Freaky Friday thing. Keep that on the download.
Why am I surrounded by all this German paraphernalia?
Yeah, right.
I don't know why, but I like it. So what are you going to school for?
I'm finishing a business degree in finance.
Nice. UFC or where?
At Mount Royal, I like Veterans Affairs has put me through it, and I was always terrible at math. Like this is one of those shame stories probably I shouldn't tell, but I failed it 5 times in high school, math 30. I never showed up to class. I didn't care, right? It was just typical stuff. And then when Veterans Affairs, I got offered the chance to go back to school. I jumped on it and I had to upgrade my math 30 and I got a 92. So I switched to finance. All right. Maybe I like numbers a little more than I thought. So
it's funny what happens when you put your mind to it, right?
Oh yeah, when it's your job. I mean, that's all I do is really focus on that.
Me and Kurt looking at your guys' website before the show, and we're like, "Oh, Black Hills. Wait, a case is 25 boxes. What's 25 times 20? Pull out the phone.
Something
just
goes into
me.
something.
I'll let you know what it is.
Yeah, right.
Well, right on. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you joining us, Matt. You too, buddy. Miss seeing your face. I gotta come out and see you one of these days. Where can everyone find us? Well, you can visit us on www.facebook.com/FFP podcast. Leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. If you like the content, please leave a like on the page and share so we can spread the wealth. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So that's awesome. You can also email the show info@ffpp foxtrot pablo.ca with any questions, discussion points, or future topic ideas you want to hear about. You can also check us out on the web at www.firstfocalplane.ca. Yeah.
Okay, well, now that you got that out of the way, what's everybody drinking?
Like it.
I'm thirsty.
He's a natural, Kurt.
All business, this boy.
Yeah.
I just discovered this. Sean tells me that it's been out for a while, but Canadian Club, which I never gave any time a day at all,
Dude.
This Doc 57 blackberry whiskey. I thought, what the hell? I'll give that a shot.
It's fucking tasty, eh?
Holy smokes! It is nice. It's that
Seems dangerous.
Yeah, until you're on your second glass and the bottle's empty.
Yeah.
I used to drink that shit in 2011 when I was living in Moose Jaw because I was living in Moose Jaw, so that's all I was doing.
I was gonna say, why wouldn't you drink there?
Well, so I'd buy a bottle of that every other night, and Jesus Christ, you'd wake up with the worst fucking hangover because it's just pure sugar.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But still, it's tasty shit.
It's sugar and anger.
And some shame.
Of course, it's whiskey, man. I did what? Really?
Again?
Yeah.
Why
Sean, what do you got?
Again? Yeah. I am repping the Alberta Premium again. Their fine rye whiskey. I'm really enjoying this stuff. It's relatively inexpensive, and it tastes okay for the price.
Is it still come in a plastic bottle?
No, this is glass, man, and it's actually pretty robust. Like you could severely crack some skulls with this shit if you're drinking in Moose Jaw at the cracked or at the crushed can. But no,
segue into episode 3.
That's right. Exactly. But no, it's pretty good. I'm mixing it with Coke Zero because I'm trying not to be a big fat guy anymore. So I'm trying not to, failing. But
I'm sure that'll help.
Yeah, totally. Aspartame.
It's one or the other.
That's right.
Matthew, what do you got?
I'm just sticking with the regular Molson Canadian.
Nice.
There's a patriot.
That's right. Thanks, balls, to drink that shit.
Yeah.
And they're tall boys, too.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Aren't you dignified? Ryan, what do you got?
I am drinking the fine the Hefeweizen from Far Raurai in Turner Valley, Alberta.
Wow.
I
can keep going into a spiel about it because I love it. There's a lot.
Tell us, I've never heard of it before tonight. So
okay, so the mad scientist behind Far is a guy named Jochen Far. He has a PhD in microbiology. He was actually a stem cell researcher until he decided he'd rather brew beer like his dad did back in Germany. And it is the
success.
beer, dude. It's unbelievable. I love it. He's been winning awards like crazy. They've only been open for a couple years now. So, yeah, I love it.
So is it like a Pilsner or is it a draft? Like what is it?
He does like a Black Forest Pils, which is like lighter hops than the Czech stuff. The Hefeweizen is a wheat beer where he follows the Reinheitsgebot, so just, your water, yeast, barley, and hops. So,
dude, you're talking German to me. I don't understand what you're saying.
Tough titties.
Oh, that's right. Figure it out. But...
Yeah.
Robbie, what do you got?
I'll follow up with the Alberta Premium too. Some good old rye. That shit right there.
Hey, getting back to your roots, attaboy.
I, however, happen to think it's pretty tasty. I really like it. So,
yeah.
But I'll give you a story on rye. My grandpa, World War II, was taken POW, and he said the Germans were convinced the best way to kill a Canadian was give him a bottle of rye and a motorcycle.
They're not
probably
wrong.
Not far wrong.
Well,
they're not wrong. they knew us.
Taking off a lot of lead, but
yeah. And choice of a new generation to wash that down with.
Oh,
is it a mix only proposition, or can you? Or does it take a real man to drink it on ice?
I mean, you could I have, but I don't know. I just think let's give her a quick.
But does it require a dare to do that?
Oh,
not with Sean.
I lit up that 3-shot challenge a couple weeks ago like it was nothing.
That
was pretty good.
That's not bad, Street.
I gotta laugh at people doing that and the faces that they make. I'm thinking, really? No, that's a beer, for Christ's sake.
No, I had Everclear. That's how I started it off with.
Get that one out of the way right away. Yeah.
Everything else was just like fire on fire.
Yeah,
it was all bad.
It was all a blank after that.
Yeah.
I don't even recall completing the challenge.
Yeah. I don't know who I called. Apparently I called up my mom to do it afterwards. She was like, why?
Oh, sweetie.
Yeah. You're right, Mom.
All right.
Well, let's dive into it, boys. So
Let's get it.
You guys run a pretty cool business. Why don't you guys tell us about your business?
Yeah, sure. It's a business by a couple of veterans, and we decided to focus on what we knew best, right? Your tactical and long range. It's stuff we did in the CAF, and it's stuff we love today. So we figured, let's do this. Might as well do what you love. And then we didn't want to work at a store. We didn't want to be tied down, right? It was like, fuck that. So we went completely online. We work with another company out in Strathmore. They does our storage and shipping, and it allows us to be completely mobile, completely customer facing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that has some benefits. Like, you don't have a ton of overhead, right?
Nope.
So wow,
Yep.
That's going to give you a distinct advantage from some of the brick and mortar guys, right?
Yeah, we've heard about that from some of the guys, and we get it. It's, I mean, we haven't let it affect our pricing in that regards. We stay true to the market, but it allows us to do what we've been doing. We've done some of the programs with our custom rifles and stuff like that.
Okay. So what?
Yeah, and I mean that's the way business is going, right? Like, customers want to be able to go online, read reviews. I really think that kind of the days of going into the store and fondling 20 rifles and then walking out with nothing are kind of going by the wayside. Like, and brick and mortar. So what you say that, right? Like, there's certain guys that maybe that will stay true, but look at Amazon, right? Look at all the business models, the way it's going. You can't deny it. The brick and mortar stores are going to be the Kodak film of the future, right? Like, they just go to digital and they died off, right? So there's definitely an uphill battle with some of the, and I mean some have been phenomenal working with us, like the distributors and the brick and mortar guys that we work with, and some have been downright hostile just because of the way that they see an internet only business. But again, it's kind of like adapt or be left behind, right? You can see it, especially times like and when there's a downturn, and they've still got to pay for lights and mortgage and everything else, right?
Look at COVID. Look at COVID.
Well,
and how many businesses were affected there? Like,
So I was just going to say, when you look at what happened with COVID and the Rona, companies like even Canadian Tire, who have been putting off for years upgrading their e-commerce business side of their business, they had to dive in and immediately upgrade all that because that's where it all went. It went online.
Yeah, it really got a boot in the ass there, didn't it?
Yep.
Right. It forced everybody into online shopping.
Yep.
well, and I was going to say, looking at your guys' website, you guys definitely have a top-notch professional website that it's phenomenal, dudes. Props. Like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. And I can tell you right now, that is completely thanks to an outstanding firearms business in Canada called Telos Alpha, and those guys there, like Brent. My God, they actually were a savior to us. We started out with a website on Shopify, which I did myself, and it looked like probably our new dog did it. It was that awesome, but I did the best I could. We were open for a week, and that's when Shopify shut us down. We lost our payment processing from those guys. They changed their terms. So Brent there at Telos Alpha came through and really saved us and put that awesome face out there for us.
Okay.
That is really good.
So, yeah, I was going to say, you started with Shopify, and I know they're stringent anti-firearms. It's like, if you're doing anything firearms, you're done. And that's crazy. Well, it sucks, but it is what it is. And, well, props to you guys, because it looks amazing. Your logo.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Everything seamlessly transitions to each other. Like even going to the shop section, like I'm just going to it now. Seamless.
Yeah.
It looks professional. It's easy to navigate. Everything's on the right hand side.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, what do you guys sell?
I mean, our focus is really, especially since after the whole Trudeau crap, is our long range stuff, right? Like our bread and butter is Black Hills ammunition, right? Like, and the thing I love about Black Hills is they are so dedicated to their stringent accuracy testing for all their lots, right? So basically, if you buy a box, and I've done the pricing too between like Black Hills ammunition and reloading, like with Lapua brass and your Projos, even monolithics,
Top components.
Yeah, right. You're talking about, and plus your time, plus your dies, plus all your equipment. I mean, you name it. You can buy a box of Black Hills that can arguably shoot better than your hand load.
Wow.
No, I'll say it right now. So I have shot like
Sounds
between
like a fucking challenge.
That's okay, I'll take it. That's between myself and Carrie from Call Sign 66, shoot little tiny bug holes with factory for two different guns.
Yep.
So what Black Hills does, especially like we sell a lot of the 77 grain OTM, which is the Mark 262 Mod 1. It was what they Black Hills designed for the U.S. military. It's especially used like Kansoff uses that stuff because it's better out of short barreled action or ARs. Mm-hmm. Just to pass a lot, so it to go out commercial or military, they have to shoot 10 rounds, 10 groups of 10 rounds, and it has to be within 2 inches at 300, or else the whole lot's scrapped. So it has to do that 10 round, so a 2-inch group of 300, 10 times, and then the
out of a DI, like gas gun or what?
Yeah,
that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is because that's what the spec is for.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, regardless, if you buy that ammo and it shoots like shit, that's not the ammo's fault. That's telling you you've got something in your rifle system, or you. So it's great to start somewhere where you know, like there's so much science and history back behind it, and then you can kind of start playing around and figuring out what the problem is there. So I'm also
then I'll never shoot it because I need an excuse.
So that's a good valid point, Matt.
Yeah. Well.
So Black Hills, they're a remanufacturer, correct?
No, they would be a factory hand loading, more or less, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the way I put it. They They do a lot of match grade stuff. I mean, they've got Cowboy Action, which is another one of their bread and butter. They've got duty rounds. They do their military lines, right? Like they did the M118 LR, your 175 grain. It was originally with the 168. Now, if I'm getting too technical, just tell me to shut up. I love talking about this stuff.
No, give her, man.
To our show, we go down a lot of rabbit holes, so that's okay. Go on.
So
we're gonna rename this section "Rabbit Holes."
Oh, there you go.
I'm your guy then. So the U.S. military was finding that like the 168 grain, the 7.62x5.1 or the 308, extremely accurate at 300, but it really, that the old myth of the 800-yard wall, which is ridiculous. So basically, the U.S. military signed to extend it. Wanted to get to 1,000 yards, right? Reliable. So that's where the M118 LR came in. Went to 175 projectile versus the 168, different propellant, less temperature sensitive sort of thing. And Black Hills has delivered on that. I mean, they still deliver for all the U.S. military service rifle teams. It's all Black Hills ammo, right? Yeah. So anyways, that's how we got into Black Hills, is we were talking about product lines when we first started. And I'm like, we need to get Black Hills more representation up here, because all my longest shots in the US have all been with Black Hills ammo, factory Black Hills ammo. So
what calibers can you get in Black Hills?
Oh,
I mean, they carry a lot. So we ourselves carry mostly like your 168, 175, 308, your 77 grain OTM stuff, the 5.56. But I mean, they've got some of the largest 223 and 5.56 offerings around. They also got, they got their Black Hills Gold line, which is more hunting. They do 300 Win Mag, 300 Norma, 338 Lapua, and all different weights. Your 6.5 Creed, they've got a couple new ones that are coming out we can't really talk about, but they are.
Oh, come on. Let's go.
No, not me. I am not a 6.5 fanboy. That's the only time you'll hear me reference it this time.
Yeah.
A ton. And we can get it. We just focus on the military stuff, but we can get it.
We just finished, we dealt pretty extensively with them last year, and then this year going into SHOT Show, sat down with those guys, and we've managed to set up a 4-year importation permit there. We're direct with them guys now, so we're definitely set up to do special orders with those guys. If we don't have on the website, we can definitely reach out and get it. I seen Doug had a question there, and unfortunately the answer is no. They don't do that smokeless that stuff at all.
Okay. That's why I put
the Cowboy Action that they do is your 45 Colt, your it's the stuff that guys exactly. It's the stuff that guys are using for the Cowboy Action shooting, and they want the best to work, right? So that's what they do.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. You have the 77 grain OTM cartridge. Yeah. Showing it $76.93 for 50. A box of 50. So you went into some features and benefits, but that's a fairly significant price point comparing it to like a Hornady ELD match or something like at the same sort of caliber that my mental mind goes to. Yeah. So why is the price point a little higher than say like its other competitors? So
absolutely, and I'll tell you something right now. And one of the things in that spec that came out. There were some manufacturers that were meeting it. They went to Black Hills because there's they brought them in on that. Black Hills themselves went above and beyond what was being asked of that design, and found that there were some real issues with temperature changes, especially in the chamber, right? So they would do a bunch of full auto bursts, let it sit, and then they're having huge temperature climbs in the chamber, and then from that they were finding big discrepancies in the round accuracy. So they went back, they put together a powder that keeps that change to almost negligible. The velocity stays the same. So the consistency and accuracy you're going to get out of Black Hills is going to blow anything else out of the water, bar none.
See, you're talking about its own proprietary powder?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it's not. I know Black Hills does it. I think some other companies do it, but I can't really say. But they make their own blends, right? Like they'll take powder and they'll work with the manufacturers and go, we like this, we like that, and they'll mix it together, and they'll find something that's stable velocities, temperature and sensitivity, flash suppression, all this stuff.
So is it just not burning as hot and then in turn giving you barrel longevity, or what?
Well, no. It resists the chamber temperatures or even at ambient temperatures. It resists those changes, which allows it to keep consistent performance all the time, right? So
you got to think about like cold bore shot, right? So it's going to be, ambient temperature. You put 30 rounds through it, you're in a fight, and then all of a sudden you're 300, and that round that sits in there for 30 seconds is now climbing temperature, right? So you're going to have these accuracy fluctuations, and the powder is very, very stable at different points. So
that's like what we were talking about with Calvin Menard, Sean. Remember that? The different burn characteristics versus everybody thinks burn speed with powders, but there's a lot more to it. The burn characteristics, and imagine with duplex powders or mixed powders, whatever you want to say, you can gain a lot of different characteristics that way for sure. Better know what the fuck you're doing, though. I'll bet you that.
Yeah, well, 100%. Don't do it at home. Absolutely.
This is our warning for you at home.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna do it. Film it.
That shit's gotta be on YouTube.
FFPP.ca.
Stream that shit.
From your hospital bed. Yeah, exactly. So, you guys briefly touched on it. Their quality is next to none, right? Like their QA.
Yeah, I'll stick by it because like my go-to, like I shoot a PGW Coyote in 308. That's been my.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's a terrible rifle.
Oh man, if I could work a way to get in with PGW, they were going to be on my shout-outs just to be like, come on, man, bring something my way. I love it, and I created a really good hand load using the 175 Sierras with Lapua brass. Match everything. Digital scales. The stupidity went on, neck turning, blah blah blah. It shoots like the 175 factory shoots better than my hand load did. That was tuned to my barrel. It's ridiculous. I shoot .19s with it, and I can't. Again, I got a wife and kids and everything, and all my other time, and like pressing 100 rounds is not that common. But I can just grab 100 rounds, and when you factor in the price again, time and your dies and everything else, the price is actually really, really close if you're using premium components and all your stuff.
Like
I think you just lack dedication. That's all. It's shame.
I'd rather spend my time not cleaning my guns and not reloading and just go and shoot. So
exactly. Like when I was tooling up for reloading for my AR for 3-gun and 2-gun, Dillon 550, all the components, from Black Sheep brass, because fuck brass prep. Especially for a gas gun for blast around. Camp Pro projectiles, run of the mill powder, like CFE 223 or whatever, but then getting all that tooled up and dies and all the accessories, the caliber conversion kits for Dillon and all that shit to be able to do production, that's thousands and thousands of dollars. And when you correlate that to $76 plus tax, theft, and shipping, that's not that bad. It really isn't.
It's not.
And especially if you like, for a lot of gun owners are tradesmen, and a lot of gun owners are white collar too. But when you're a tradesman, you put time or money to your time. Essentially, that's how you bill it out. And like, what do you value an hour of your time at, right? And especially when you're starting to hand load 100, 200 rounds of match ammunition, that takes a lot of fucking around and a lot of time, a lot of calibration to get set up. So $75 for 5223 ain't that fucking bad.
No, and actually, if you look at the 308, the 175, it's just under $50 a box, and it's exactly the same at Cabela's right now for their federal gold match, right? So There's a ton of bang for the buck there, pun intended.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like that's it. If you reload and it's it's your hobby and you enjoy it and you like neck turning and you love chamfering friggin' brass and all that other stuff that drives me insane, go for it. Like absolutely do your thing, right? But like if you're doing it to save money, that's not true, because it is way more, or I shouldn't say way more. It is reasonably the same. You got to think about how much you have to reload to make up the cost of all the equipment and your time to even that out, right? So,
well, and Oscar, Oscar says if you don't shoot enough to make cost of your Dillon irrelevant, you are not shooting enough. Well, funny you say that. I blew up a pistol reloading test loads for my M&P for on election night 2015. So tacked $700 on to my cost of my setup. So.
Yeah. Not to mention that, like, if Black Hills something goes wrong with it, you can go. Like you have their corporate stuff to deal with. You do it to yourself, well, you're screwed. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's I don't know. Like I said, I got a buddy who he put his flag on the reload hill and he's going to die on it. And I just keep like, man, you're not saving any money. Well, you're not saving.
I love the science behind reloading. It's a hobby through and through, and it's something to do. But then there's a reason guys like you, Ryan and Rob, there's guys like Miles, Chris, and Cappy and Kerry. They all shoot factory because they don't got time to fuck around like that. And
well, it used to be that the only way you can get that level of precision, that cutting edge level of precision, was to hand load for your own rifle, right?
Agreed.
It used to be that way. Factory ammo's come a long way in the last decade. And then especially you get into stuff like this, what you guys are talking about with Black Hills.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's kind of like that whole, 9mm versus 45. Maybe in World War II or maybe in the 90s, there was a big discrepancy between the effects of 9mm, the effects of 45. But the bullet design on 9mm now has made that so irrelevant that it dumps so much energy, right? And that's the thing, is you have to keep on top of technology. If your knowledge is 20 years old, well, you're behind the eight ball, right? It might have been true then, but the way technology, especially wars, just drive firearms technology. Yeah. Oh, so we're living in the golden age because of
not just firearms technology, but technology.
A lot of things, yeah.
And I was just gonna say that.
Known any gun guys that how do I say, don't grasp on the new things, do you? Have you? We've been doing it this way for 40 years.
Yeah.
Two wars.
Right.
Jeff Cooper said that.
But I mean, we got to think. Ryan's absolutely right. We got to think the wars. So we got to think that there's a new type of war. A lot of it is where you're sending in the special forces. And those guys, they're not happy with the off-the-shelf firearm. They're not happy with the off-the-shelf ammo. And they've gone to the companies like Black Hills and Colt Canada Maco, and they said, guys, we need the A game. And they're bringing it, right? So the stuff that's kind of off the shelf now is like, it's incredible. I mean, these guys are going to war with it, and they're shooting bad guys in the face with it every day, and they're coming home, and those other guys aren't, right? So it's awesome.
Yeah. As a consumer, we're just reaping that level of innovation that's happened. So
that's always been a driver, at least since the 50s, anyways, in North America, hasn't it? Especially the States, I suppose. But any innovations that come out of military development trickle down into civilian.
Where do you think GPS came from?
100%.
Yep.
The internet came from in the military, right? So Spudman76 on YouTube says, do you guys have free shipping over a certain amount?
It's, you know what, we're more than happy to talk to that guy. If you want to drop us a line and he's got an amount he's looking at buying, we'll definitely, stuff like that we can definitely work with. It's not as something we do standard, but dude, we have no problem dealing with something like that.
So Spudman, go to gothiclinearmory.ca and go to the contact us section, or is it sales at Gothic Line Armoury?
It's all on the website there. Yep.
Yeah. So hit them up there. Hey, backing up a bit, we're on the Black Hills train. Talking about their quality assurance or the QA. Rob, do you want to tell that story you told me on the phone yesterday?
Yeah. Just to speak to the quality of that. So, one of Black Hill's procedures is everything that leaves that factory is looked at by hand by quality experts, right? So they've got a group of people there, and they touch every round that leaves that facility. They look at it, they go for it. They're the final sign off on that, and every box has their little sign off. However they sign them off, right? Little squiggle or check mark or initial, and
number or whatever.
yeah, right. And there's a story that Jeff Hoffman, he's the owner of Black Hills, he tells where there was a special ops guy in Afghanistan with his little crew, and they'd get their order of Black Hills, their 77 OTM, the Mark 262 Mod 1, and he'd go digging through that to find his mom's box, because his mom is one of the people that worked at Black Hills. She's checking this stuff, and he's like, dudes, we don't shoot anything but what my mom looked at. So here's this mom.
Sweet?
Yeah, right. It's incredible. Like this, it's.
Wouldn't that be fucking cool, eh? You're right in the middle of whatever tour you're on, and we're getting bad Black Hills. My mom works for Black Hills.
Yeah, she checked the shit over, and that's all I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, the only shit that my mom is handling. Fuck, thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go shoot. You just shot that guy in the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shoot a saw in the face and his mom's rounds. Yeah, but that's how that's Black Hills, man.
Nice. Well, it seems like a great product, and I'm gonna place an order tonight for a couple boxes of 308.
Nice. Yeah. But as far as other you're asking about other products that we've been focused on, Sierra bullets, another prime one that kind of, when you look at the winners that Black Hills does, they use a lot of Sierra bullets, and with a growing capital, Ryan and I sat down and we had to make a decision on where we wanted to plant our flag at first, and it was a no-brainer when it came to Sierra bullets.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to beat them. I've used them for years, and it's pretty much the standard of accuracy.
Yeah.
If I can't get something to shoot with other bullets, I will go to a Sierra, and if it doesn't shoot a Sierra,
it won't shoot
shut the fucking thing.
Throw it in the melting pot.
Take it to Steve.
Take it to Steve, right? Yeah,
that's it. But
have you tried the new TMKs?
Which, sorry?
The new TMKs, the Tip Match Kings?
I have. The only one that I've tried is the 175 tipped Match Kings in a factory 700, an old police model. And it didn't do great. It had 171 thou jump from mag length. So, with that new nose profile on the tip Match King, it didn't play nice that way. The trouble is I couldn't find the conventional, the old style 175 Match King.
Yeah.
So we found the tipped, and I mean, shit, I still made hits out at 1,400 yards on a full size IPSC. But the hit percentage was way down from what it should have been.
I've heard they have some jump sensitivity. They've got a band because they did move the profile back a bit for that, right? So I've heard that
shorten up that bearing surface for sure. I did do a little bit of testing where I ran the bullet out closer to the lands, but just to see, and they did shoot better at certain increments throughout that gap. But I didn't want to run anything that I couldn't run through the mag. So
yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard other guys having good success with them with shorter throats on them for sure. And I'd try more, but
application sure dictates what's going to work, right? So what works in one guy's will not work in the other guy, right? So
yeah.
Well, unless it's 168 grain Sierra Match King, those seem to work the best out of every 308 I've ever shot.
Yep.
So
yeah. Anyway. I had a bunch of those loaded up for an M14 or an M305 that shot really well in it.
You don't know that you lost in a tragic boating accident.
That's it. Yeah, I've had it a long time ago.
Sorry for your loss, buddy.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was having a little bit of trouble with his hand loads in a Savage bolt gun, and he said, "Here, try mine. We won't waste a day." I got a bunch here. Just shoot them, and it turns out the fucking thing shot under half an inch at 100 yards in that bolt gun. Not size for his chamber, not seated at whatever special length. Just shoot and
Shoot.
They're a wonderful bullet, except for beyond 800 yards.
That's great. When the magic wall.
That's it. Oh, just like this and drop down. Yeah.
There's going to be a fight.
Like,
It's going to be awesome.
We're getting really off topic here, but Kurt, when I was at your range, Jens had me making hits at 6'10" with 147 grain Camp Pros out of my Mossberg MVP 308.
Yes, sir.
And so it doesn't matter what you're shooting, it helps. But yes, if you got a good spotter calling out your holds,
well, you got a good coach like that. Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world.
Jens, do not let that go to your head, you fuck.
Christ, he's German. Nothing goes to his head. Unless it's a little bit of rage.
He will tell you what goes to his head, all right?
That's it. That's exactly it.
Don't you forget it.
And it won't be feelings.
Kurt, why don't you do a quick ad read for EM Precision here?
All right, give me a second here.
Sorry,
Where
guys.
the heck are we?
We got to pay the bills, right?
All right. So for this sponsor break, email us at which one are we doing here, Sean? Sorry.
Info, I don't give a shit.
Okay. Email us at info@ffpp.ca and tell us about your EM Precision Rifle builds, videos or of you or yours shooting, or questions or comments you might have for us.
Yep. Yeah, let us know. And if you guys have a custom gun that you're super proud of, because you should, because you spent a dime on it.
You did.
Send us the info at ffpp.ca. We'll put it on the show.
We'll put it up here, yeah.
Yeah, send us the specs. Let us know, because Steve does a hell of a job, and Shane does a fuck of a job sourcing components, and whether it's IBI barrels, Curtis Custom Actions, Deviant Actions, whatever. Like, let us know, and we'll get it on the show, because it's a piece of art and a piece of engineering masterpiece. So, yeah, send it our way, and we'll get it on. So, thanks, guys.
Steve, that was all luck with a Mossberg.
Yeah.
It might have been, but all goals go on the
Repeatable
scoreboard,
hits,
pal.
son. Repeatable hits. Ding, 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 ding. What size is that target at 6'10", Kurt?
That's an 18-inch square.
So, okay, not bad. Torso size, right? So, but still.
3 minute. No big deal.
Shooting I had a Bush. What scope do I have on that? A Bushnell AR Optics 4-12 or 4-18 by 40, I think.
Well, listen, that's a pretty good poke for an 18-inch barrel, isn't it? Yeah. Or is it 16-inch on that thing?
No, it's 18. It's not restricted.
Yeah.
Definitely. With that Mirage and that win that day too, like she was all over the place that day.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
Well, good coach, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let that go to your head, bud.
Fabian Getson. You see this?
Oh shit! Sorry. Go, Kurt. Fuck it.
Try being Norwegian and German.
Listen, try being Norwegian and Irish. I'm short, and I got a small dick.
I'm English, Irish, Scottish. There's about 7 different fights going on in here all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm
they're
German
all drunk.
and Danish.
Yeah. Oh no.
My great grandmother was from Gaul, Norway. So yeah, I'm about as light skinned as it comes. I go out in the shade and I burn.
Yeah, talk about burning and you burn.
Fucking Dougie here, Doug Rodenbush. I could hit that range with like 10-22 if it was Sean Hyman torso size.
Oh, shots fired.
You're lucky you're a 7-hour drive away, bud.
Zinga.
But joke's on you.
Played.
I looked after Tabor and Brooks, so
Yeah.
Be out there one day, you fuck.
Yeah. And then Jesse the Bloody here.
Yeah.
I'm with your Rooster, but add the French into the fight. Can you imagine that? English, Irish, Scottish, a little bit of German, and some fucking French. Like, hang me.
Jesse,
I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Jesse wakes up and hates himself in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry,
Shut
buddy.
up. God damn it. Fuck you.
Which side of me am I up? What side of me am I upset about invading which?
Yeah.
Right.
Am I surrendering or am I blitzkrieging or am I just yelling Amberjack till I'm fucking blue in the face?
I'm just running away.
All right, let's get back on track.
Yeah. So what other stuff do we got? You know what?
Well, tell us
the
a little
Canadian.
bit about... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say there's a lot of great stuff on the Canadian market these days.
Yeah.
As Canucks, we're like, man, we're just going to do it ourselves, and we're going to do it the Canadian style. We're going to do it better. So we've got Cadex now that we can get access to. We've got accounts of those guys. We've got IBI barrels up on the website.
Shout out Ryan Stacy.
Yeah, we got MDT. We got Trigger Tech triggers. Like, it's just a ton of basically industry setting standard, parts, right? So yeah, there you go, man. Like, it's incredible, and we're lucky to have those guys. And
back to Mark yet.
yeah, so
back to Mark to get my 2-stage 700. Anyway,
so
dude, I've got the 2-stage.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
I love it.
in his Coyote.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
in the Coyote.
In his Coyote. So we've got some great products up there, and just great company supporting them too. Absolutely.
Well, so you were just talking about some of the products I see. You have the new XRS chassis system. You have a bunch of IBI barrels, it looks like, on here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What else are you guys stocking, if you want to say that? You got spur mounts. What else? Lithgow arms. Let's talk about that. Holy shit.
There it is, XRS chassis right there. That's for the wife's build coming up.
Come on, take the condom off it.
Take the condom off it? I can do that. That's what she said.
Not likely.
There you go.
Okay,
That
so
is,
that's aluminum, right?
it's aluminum and polymer that they've done together. Like there's aluminum that well, you can't see it. My camera's shit, but it's a fantastic chassis.
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
So me and Kurt were talking before the show. How pronounced is the right hand
Thumb shelf
on it? Thumb shelf. Is it pretty gnarly or what?
Oh, on the chassis?
Yeah.
It's really not there at all.
Really?
There's really no thumb shelf there at all, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
I thought it had a pretty pronounced one.
No.
We were just talking about the EM Precision's, what I called Blueberry, the build that they sent me for test and review, that 6XC, with the MPA chassis on it, and that grip on it has that nice pronounced thumb shelf on the right side. And you got to understand, I'm that guy that I'm more of a traditional grip kind of guy. That thumb on the other side is for pussies, you know. Like, I actually used the damn thing, and it was great for that chassis. And we looked at that one earlier tonight that you had in your hand there, Rob.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a thumb shelf there, and I'm slowly maybe sort of kind of going over to the thumb shelf on the right side.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's one of those things it's new to me. I'm a 50-year-old guy. I started out shooting the military on the FN. So it tells you that, right? So I'm like, why do these guys doing with their thumb? But it's techniques, and it's something that the guys are making better hits than me that are using it. So it's got to be something to it.
Well, Kurt, when I was at your range there a couple weeks ago, and I had Miles and Cappy kind of give me a quick 4-hour tutorial on how to shoot further than 400 yards. I found that when I had my thumb, so when I had my proper grip, what I'm used to is having my thumb around the grip.
Yep.
And then squeezing the trigger with the meat of your finger, right? Well, I found that when I did that, I was pulling shots to the left. Okay.
That's that sympathetic thumb.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's here.
But then, if you guys look at our video, when I'm shooting out to 1057 with Jens, is what is that? That's a 6x47. Yeah. So I got my thumb straight up in the air, resting on that shelf on that. What's that chassis again? MPA.
MPA. Yeah.
Anyway, so I got my thumb kind of just resting there, and I'm just kind of floating my finger on the meat of the trigger, and I'm just slowly pressing, and oh man, I was making hits like crazy out there. And but
it does make a difference because you don't induce that torque into the rifle when you're not squeezing like this. We as we have opposable thumbs for a reason. We grab things. That's what separates us from the apes, right?
Yeah.
And it's a downfall in some instances.
Well, me coming from the blaster background with ARs and pistols,
you hold that son of a bitch.
I'm just used to fucking just gripping that thing as tight as I can, making that isosceles stance and pressing out, and just making sure that there's zero recoil on that, and going to a precision setup where, that every ounce. Well, you guys are military guys. Ounces equal pounds. Right, and it's exponential compared to, especially when you bring it to trigger squeeze or trigger press. And I found like going out even out to 280 when I was shooting that Mossberg with their Acu trigger fucking knockoff that they got on there. Even with that, if I don't have it properly placed right in that meat of my pad, I'm missing. And I don't know who's running. I think this might be Miles here. Most shooters' hand grips are too tight as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
that's probably me. I'd say I'm definitely guilty of that shit.
Yeah, you're not choking the turkey there.
No.
Speaking of turkeys, Doug Rodenbush, are you saying that Jim can shoot better than John?
Maybe.
Doug, I will shoot you under the
Russian trained.
Only a howler monkey.
Yeah. So,
you guys have on your website the long range solutions bit. What can you tell us about that? Where's that going? Or is that all what you've been talking about already?
No. So the long range solutions bit is it's actually interesting that Miles' comments just there is we've been talking with Call Sign 66 because we got a good relationship with them. We've been talking about running a joint course with them. So that was going to happen sooner than later. COVID kind of threw a wrench into that, right? Earlier this year. So we're really hoping to, get that course underway in some capacity. It's a pretty early stage talks, I guess you could say, on kind of who's going to do what in the course of fire. But it's something we're both really interested in doing and probably having it run here, because we're both in Alberta, obviously. So that's where that long range solutions comes from. It's one of those things in the works that it's not just an idea; it is being talked about. So we might as well throw it up there.
Yeah. So it's taken everything, like Ryan's saying, marrying the components, marrying the ammunition, and then getting people together with the experts on using that stuff, right? So long range solutions, and then just taking our background and our experiences and being able to answer some of the tough questions that we get, right? So Ryan's background is phenomenal. He's some of the stuff he's done is incredible. So that's the long range solution side of us, right? And that kind of goes back to where we started and when we said, hey, what's Gothic all about? That's it right there.
Right. So is this active right now with you guys, or are you still waiting for a few pieces to fall into place before you kick this out?
Yeah, Miles and I keep talking about it. It's one of those things where, again, time, right? Like COVID really screwed up a lot of stuff. So it's just a matter of the conversation. It's a matter of the course content. It's really been put onto us, what we wanted for that course content. We're going to probably put something together. I know Ryan's got better ideas on what we want to do with that. And again, that's the long range solutions that we're talking about, right? And bringing the experienced guys or bringing the new guys and bringing them up to the experts and really growing that sport, because it's growing huge already.
So is there opportunity there then to hook people up with good instructors like that, like what you're talking about?
Absolutely.
Being able to supply a kit for that student.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look on the website right now, we have the 6.5 version of one of these. That's the 308.
Right. Yep.
So we have our own line of rifles that we've had done up for us. E Precision builds those for us.
Sure.
So we can go either we can put components to them. We can sit down and talk to them guys about how you'd like to put together your rifle, whether it be the first one or your 25th one, or we've got turnkey solutions. And then right from there, I mean, and hey, the boys at Call Sign 66 are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, those guys are switched on. They've been there. They've actually taken their craft and applied it in the field. But there's other guys in Alberta that we've been talking to. I mean, Sierra 64, another, Ben Click and those guys, right?
No kidding.
Holt there. Ryan came up with an excellent term, and you see me use it a lot on my social media. Alberta Long Range Center of Excellence, right? We've got some fantastic. We got the land. We do a high altitude. We can do the prairies, and there's just an incredible amount of wealth in this province. Ian Precision, you've got the boys at Inside Arms. We got the Sapro boys out there putting on the PRS, shoots. It's just
Cal Menard, Rob Furlong, Ben Clay.
Rob Furlong, exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, I'll tell you what.
We have Rooster's Rifle Ranch.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Once the lawsuits are settled, it'll be a great place.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Rob. If you want to take a guy that doesn't know shit about long range shooting,
sure,
put one of your rifles in his hand and teach him how to hit distance.
Yep,
I'm your guy.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. Shameless.
Yeah, man. I love it.
I'll take what I can get, man. I'm the guy that buys $20 boxes of ammo so he can shoot more rather than better.
Hey, you know what? I'm a guy. I have 3 SKSs. I got like thousands and thousands of rounds of surplus. There's nothing more fun than a mag dump, and I'm a shameless mag dumper. I'm ruthless on mag dumps. I tell you.
Throw a 110 round drum into a GSG 16 and just go.
Fucking send it.
Hey man, we call that accuracy by volume.
Right.
Yeah.
When there's nothing left of the target, you've hit it.
Buy it cheap and stack it deep. I mean, we all live by that, but it's well, you know what they say, long range is like golf, but for men, right? So fuck it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You bet.
Well,
so that rifle you got in behind you.
Yep.
Do you guys offer a standard package? Like I know you're saying that EM Precision builds them. Do you have a standard package? What components do you use for the standard package? All that kind of stuff.
So there's a yes. Short answer, yes. Okay. So what we've done is the company being called Gothic Line Armoury. So they're the GLA, and then with our logo, our brand, the 712 brand, right? So they're the GLA 712. That's like the brand of the rifle. And then each rifle is named after a tank gun. So the 308 is the L7A3, right? So GLA 712, L7A3. We get the 6.5 Creedmoor is the L11A5, I believe.
Right.
We have a 300 PRC ELR platform that's called the Firefly, right? The GLA Firefly. So the premise is that stay within the armored. Ryan and I were, just to get background there, Ryan and I are both armored vets, right? So that's why all the lineage back to the armored and tanks, right? So
I was gonna ask you guys where the hell you come up with your naming convention. But
sure,
so
man.
Good explanation.
So Ryan, what gun is going to be named after the Flak 88?
Funny enough, the Firefly, obviously named after the upgun Sherman from World War II, and they put the 17-pounder in it. I was originally going to go with a German name, but all their names for their guns are just by caliber length, right? So L55, right? Or if I say Quick 43 L40, people be like, that's even more foreign than the GLA 712 L11A5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's soon enough. Okay. Maybe if we do a 300 Norma.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see.
Beauty.
So, okay.
You're getting back to the components, though. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you'd expand on that, please.
I don't know. What else we got there, Ryan, for components? It's...
we got Trigger Tech. We got our CADX, MDT, IBI barrels, Minox. We've sold Zero Compromise optics.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, the
Spur mounts.
spurs, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that we've gotten into, and like I said, we've been successful in these lines, and we're kind of looking on what to do next. We kind of went kind of like the super high end, you know, with spur mounts and everything, and we're kind of fill out everything else underneath that right now. So there's going to be definitely some more stuff coming. But yeah, like Sierra bullets, what we were talking about, that's for our reloaders. You know, obviously Black Hills for the factory shooting guys like that we are. I mean, we've also were in the AR game, right? So we had AR parts and right. So we had those things. Obviously, those are going. Anything named after the leopard. Well, that's what the
that's the 308.
So so Rob's with the L783 was that's the gun that's in the Leopard C2, right? The 105 rifle.
Yep.
And then
now isn't that the tank with a bunch of AC issues as well? So you just
the Leopard one never had AC, buddy.
and the Leopard 2 doesn't have AC either.
No.
Can you imagine rolling in 40-degree heat in fucking Afghanistan in that thing, and you're just fucking...
Here I am bitching about 29 degrees in a fucking
excavator. It was yeah, right. I spent all my time in Germany on that Cold War front line, and it gets pretty hot in Germany. Like, you know, standard summer there, it's 35 to 40, and with those Leo ones, they had a hydraulic turret system on those, and that power pack sat right between the leg of a gunner. And I'm fucking telling you, when you're running across country with that stab screaming, that thing just never shut off. It was just hot air with hot ambient. Man, oh man, they're a hot beast.
And with that thing by your nuts, and you're wearing.
Oh yeah, so I feel for those guys that were in Afghanistan and the armored, man. I feel for them totally.
Can you imagine rolling 12-hour days or 15-hour days on patrol with that fucking thing?
No.
Fucking Kabul or Kandahar or whatever, and you're just fucking 40 pounds of fucking gear on you too, and fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, it's true. No, it's true, man. It's savage.
And there's Kurt. There's no AC in my Mini X.
Just sitting there doing this.
Yeah.
We were me and Rob were out camping last weekend with a very close buddy of ours who was a Leopard C2 and Leopard 2 driver in Afghanistan, and he was telling us that like the cooling vests in the Leopard 2s, you couldn't run them all at once. So you had to kind of rotate who was wearing the cooling vest. And he said they were about to
pass out. Here you go.
Well, that's just it, right? And he said that basically you never felt cold because you were so hot, and that you would just get frostbite lines from where the glycol coolant line. So it was worthless.
Worth it. 100%.
I gotta love when somebody says military grade.
Oh yeah, right. I just like, oh god. All
mil spec. This is the best mil spec.
Mil spec,
Okay.
I've got to back up. So I was telling you with the Doc 57 story, Kurt, that I used to drink that shit when I was in Moose Jaw. I used to run an industrial hardware supply place. I'm not going to name it, but I used to sell explosion-proof flashlights to CFB 15 Wing in Moose Jaw because they would inspect their snowbird tanks and their fuel tanks and that sort of thing with these. And you have vapor coming in. The last thing you need is a and those fucking things. I had an extra one in the shop, and they're explosion-proof, and they're supposed to have this shatterproof housing. So of course, me being a fucking gorilla, I'm like, I'm gonna break this fucking thing. So I had an extra one, and I started smashing it against the concrete pad.
Oh, brilliant!
And the fucking thing wouldn't fucking break. So, and those were spec'd as military grade. I can't remember.
That's not military grade. That's grunt proof.
Shots fired again.
300-pound silverback gorilla proof. That's what that. Anyway,
you see what Jens put there?
Thank God.
Yeah, well, I tell you what. I'm 6'3", and I was a gunner in that hole. It was savage being down there. I got beat up by their breech block every time I pulled the trigger.
Oh God!
Yeah. I don't know what they're thinking, but
Right on.
All right.
Well, let's do another sponsor break here, Kurt.
Sure. Just a short word about EM Precision's laser engraving and Cerakoting. These operations are done in-house to fully personalize your rifle with caliber designations, logos, and colors to make a truly custom, one-of-a-kind rifle for you.
Whatever your taste is, they will do it. So,
unless it's gender-based.
Well, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to announce it here. So, Shane and Steve are sponsoring my poor ass.
Nice.
With a custom rifle and 6.5 man bun. Okay. So that's why I'm asking about the XRS chassis or whatever.
It's a good thing we're good friends.
Plus, Ryan at IBI is donating a barrel.
Yeah.
I got KDEX R7 chassis.
Nice.
What else? What else do I got on that? I got Shane.
Trigger Tech.
Kind of Trigger Tech. Fuck yeah! I got to ship that trigger back so that they can ship him a 2-stage primary. But
and you're gonna give me shit about being shameless?
I didn't say a thing. I never said it. But anyway, so they're doing all this shit for me, and they said I might have a cock or two. Here it is, laser cock set. So Steve sent me a fucking picture.
I thought I heard that wrong, but that's pretty.
No, you didn't.
Steve sent me a picture of Flecktarn, like German Flecktarn camo.
Yeah.
But instead of the fucking blotches, they were dicks.
Oh my god!
It was hilarious. They are not getting this, and I'm like,
well,
dude, you have to get that. That's
cock
awesome,
Sean.
Because I'm still paying some for it, but I'm not paying 10 grand for it. Right?
Oh god, yeah, you're paying with cocks on it. You're paying.
I'll be paying. But whatever, it's all good.
Listen, as good as Steve is with that Cerakote, I don't know that he has the artistic talent to do proper cocks.
He will get every pain and every cold on that fucking gun. I guarantee you that. Anyway, there you go. So we got KDEX R7 action. I think it's a sheepdog.
Yep.
Whatever that means. IBI barrel. Trigger Tech, obviously. The MDT XRS. So
the XRS chassis. Yeah, there you go.
That's why I was asking you about it. So
yeah.
Fun story. So
no, it's an impressive chassis. We seen it at SHOT Show there, and it was like, man, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So that's not trying to compare the two or anything, but it's the same kind of concept as the KRG Bravo, isn't it? Where it's mostly plastic, but it's got the aluminum chassis portion of it that bolts up.
Yeah.
So,
it's similar, right? Same with like idea. So same with like the KDEX Strike Nuke, right? It's a polymer, wrapping around aluminum bedding, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like a Magpul Hunter, but with a aluminum base on it. So here's Carrie. Steve has an entire here. This is Steve Shane's wife. Steve has an entire file full of appropriate cocks for your laser cock needs.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Like
obviously he means circumcised or not.
Appropriate cocks.
Oh my god!
If you want cocks on your rifle, Steve will laser it on your gun.
What?
Laser cocks.
I've got to make sure before that the 300 PRC comes back, it gets lasered.
Right.
Yeah.
You may or may not have one or two cocks laser.
Well, they're appropriate, awesome. So we're all good.
Yeah. If there's anything the military is really good at, it's making a lot of homoerotic jokes. And so I think this is amazing.
So guys, I gotta mention with this build that I'm getting, we got KDEX giving me the chassis or the action, pardon me. We got at cost, I believe, whatever the cost is. I got MDT sponsoring the chassis. I got Ryan at IBI donated a barrel. Trigger Tech Mark is giving me the 2-stage. I am forever grateful to these dudes because this is phenomenal.
So, do you remember now, Sean, what Miles told you when we were out at my range there? He
I
probably
remember
told
a lot
you.
of things Miles told me. A lot of things I don't want to say on the show.
Okay, that was after hours. But
That's
what he
right.
probably told you is that if you take home 1 to 6% of what I'm telling you right now, right? I can only do so much for you. The rest is on you. So now that you have this opportunity, this fine equipment, you take that home. Now you got to go to work.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and where can I stretch that out? Well, the only real range I know of that go that far is Nokomis or yours. And, so I got to put some time in. And you know what, Kurt? You're going to use me some hard labor to build some fence or to fucking move some steel or whatever. And
You bet.
that's how it's going to be. So
Good little barter system going here.
And I've got some insider info on a potential new range that might be coming in southern Saskatchewan that'll rival any long range range in this country. So
Nice.
I can't give too many details. I see Matt's doing the dog.
Yeah.
Go on. Let's just say it's pretty close to us, Matt. So
Nice.
we will go. So
Definitely need more of those.
yes, sir.
Agreed.
Hey, let's. What else do we have to talk about? You guys do trigger tech triggers. You got shotguns, right?
Yeah. So the shotguns, we've been working with those the awesome guys over at Odell Engineering with their Canuck line, right? So they've got
Phil
some.
is a beauty, by the way. Phil's
Hey, yeah,
Phil.
Yeah, Phil, the
absolutely
great
amazing.
dude.
Yeah. So we've got some of their shorty barrel stuff up there. We're waiting patiently on another model to come from Trigger Wholesale. I can't remember the name of that one, but it's like a really good turkey version of the it's a rim shotgun, isn't it, Ryan?
I can't remember which one you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with that stuff for sure.
Well, you have a couple of 870 actions, the Canucks, the Gatekeeper PX. Then you got the Canuck Enforcer.
Yep.
Which is an 870 clone through and through, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a Makarov short barrel pump action. Now that intrigues me a little bit.
Yeah, that one there is a Trigger Wholesale one. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that from Russia or?
No, that's another Turkish one.
Oh, it's Turkish? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So if you want to get into a cheap shotgun game, that's your way to go.
That Gatekeeper looks like a serious fuck you going.
Right. No, I had a buddy when COVID went down. He went on the website, immediately ordered one. He's like, "That's what I need right now. It's going down."
It's got the door breacher on it and everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
I hit you with 8, and then I clob you.
Yeah.
I do double on fuck and then I fuck your face. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's the shotgun game there. I mean, it's not one of our. I mean, that feeds into the tactical side of it, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
so call sign's listening right now, right? This is sign I was going to leave to the end, but since I know call sign has been listening to this, I need to say sign. Cappy, I'm sorry I step on my dick every time I'm around you. The last time I saw you at SHOT Show.
Don't worry.
No, every single time I say something stupid, and I don't mean to. I'm usually super hungover or drunk, but this last time he grew this beard, and I didn't recognize him at all. We're at SHOT. I'm talking to Miles. I'm talking to Nate, and I'm like, I don't look at his name tag because everything's swimming around, and I'm like, I don't think I met you, and he looks at me. He's like, we've met a bunch of times. I'm like, oh my God, it's Cappy. I'm just
I love you, man.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I came back when I met up with Rob. I think that was at the Schmidt booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, I keep doing it, man. I don't know what it is. And I just keep fucking up. So anyways, there's my public apology.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
Cappy will hold that against you.
Nice.
No, but me and Cappy know a lot of the same people, right? So it's just one of those things. I'm like,
Cappy seems like the guy who wants to slide under the radar, you know what I mean, and kind of go from there. So it's kind of good that he had the beard going. You're like,
Oh, I
"Who are you?"
didn't recognize him
his
at all.
feelings.
I didn't recognize him at all. The beer just threw me for an absolute loop. So, yeah, so there's my public apology.
I'm sure he'll understand.
Well, boys, I hope we did you justice. Ugh, that Alberta premium's getting to me.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think so.
I think we covered a lot of your stuff. You got barrels, you got optics, you got mounts, you got PRS rifles, you got shotguns, triggers.
Quite
What
an
am I
impressive
missing?
array there, boys. Yeah.
Thanks, man. We're working
I
on
know.
it. We're working on it.
What'd you do in guns this week, Sean?
Oh God! What did I do?
Ah!
Well, hey, who did that? That was Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told you I made a bunch of notes.
Dude, we've been very hesitant to do that segment on this show because there's another very prominent Canadian podcast who does it and who takes up a lot of their show by doing it. But
We're gonna fucking do it anyway. Let's go.
so I actually took a bunch of guns up to Extreme Range Outfitters in Saskatoon. Shout out to Ben Abramoff for the auction. He has a great auction there where you just give him what you got and he'll give you as much as he can for it. And I took some safe queens up there that I never shoot, and so hopefully I get a bunch of money out of that. And yeah, that'll be phenomenal. But then backing up, oh no, let's just leave it at that. Kurt, what did you do?
Well, the only thing I did in guns this week, our good friend Francois was over here just today doing his first bit of reloading for his 6.5 Creedmoor. He'd never loaded before, so I took him through the basics and got what the hell was it? 6 times 5, 30 rounds of test rounds done for 6.5 Creedmoor. He was shooting Hornady factory ammo.
Nice.
I'm going to steer him over to Black Hills if
That's
we got 6.5 Creedmoor.
I'm actually there's going to be an order going in this week, I think.
Mm-hmm. So we had a hell of a good session here. Actually, you know, Francois had a good time, and he said he learned a lot. I hope he was telling the truth. I'm very much one of those guys. I know what I do, why I do it, and the way I do things, but to get it out to somebody else is a bit of a challenge for me. He seemed to pick up on things really well, so that's good. I think that says more about the student than it does the teacher. But that was it for me.
Nice.
Beauty.
Maddie?
What about you, Matt?
Well, I took my 6.5 out. I just purchased it. I only had about maybe 20 rounds down the barrel. I've got it now sighted in to do 3/4 inch groupings at 100 yards with shitty ammo.
What ammo?
I did a video, half-hour long video on pulling apart the bolt carrier group for the GSG 16, disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly. That's about it.
Dude, send that link to us. We'll put it on our page.
For sure, man.
I can do that.
Cool. Ryan?
I sold a Pieta 1873. I sold a Chiappa 1911-22 on Gun Nuts. I sold a Vortex because I hate them on Gun Nuts. And I sold some CZ 455 parts that I use for a build, also on Gun Nuts. So
I took on trade. I don't know if you guys remember the Furiosa that I had on the Gunning Around show. I traded a couple pistols for it, which was a Remington 700 and 308 AAC. Kurt, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I
think so. Yeah.
Shit, and I didn't even shoot the fucking thing. I just sold it or traded it. But so it came with a Vortex Diamondback, I think. 4-12 by 40 with a crush tube. The thing was mangled. So I fucking sent that back to Vortex, and I just got notification that they're sending me a replacement new one. Well, that scope is discontinued, so I'm very curious to see what they're gonna send me. I hope it's a Diamondback Tactical. That would be amazing.
that's what I just sold because I hated it.
Did you?
That's what I have on the 6.5.
It was a Diamondback Tactical 4-16, the MOA turrets and reticle, and I'm just such an optics snob. I was like, this ain't sitting on my shit. So
You know what?
it's
Doug Rodenbush is watching right now. We're huge proponents of the Project Maple Seed, what they do in terms of marketing and that sort of thing. Vortex Diamondback is great for those, for 1022s or whatever 22 you're going to have on it. They're amazing. And I don't give a shit. I love them. I fucking
oh, dude, don't knock it on my account. I 100% if that works for you. I had just like when I worked for Loophole, they like it was a 4-letter. Well, it was a 4-letter dirty word. It was Vortex, right? So it's kind of been propaganda. But again, I got to rip those things apart. I got to see the difference. And like you're like, there's a lot of glue inside of this Vortex, and that's why they give you a new one.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Yeah. The boy and I threw the 308 in the truck and headed out to Crown Land to scout out somewhere to shoot out to 1,000.
Nice.
And what did we find? We found not quite 1,000. I found about 958, but it was a shitty backstop. So I threw the steel in a tree. I guess 6-inch gong too, really tiny. So like nothing like really putting it onto me. And I didn't hit it at all. I probably scared the hell out of the air around it. And but whatever, it was a good day. The boy and I went out and had some beers together, and it was a good day for sure.
You're more of a dirt shooter than you are a target shooter.
Well, it's easier when you can see where the shots are hitting, right? You know,
Right.
So it was just one of the things. I probably just wanted to smell the smoke, I guess. I don't know.
Well, bless
Area
your honesty,
suppression.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Takes a bigger man to admit his mistakes, right?
Yeah. It was a good day though. It's nothing. Love getting out with the truck and out in the bush, so that was good.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Let's get
Sean,
into
our ceasefire portion.
Yeah, our ceasefire segment. The human who doesn't suck of the week. Well, I don't know if you guys heard. I'm going to give it out to Simon from S&J Hardware.
Yeah, Simon.
that guy. If you need, what are they? Level 3 plates?
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of armor.
Yeah, he's the way to go. If it's legal to your province, if you live in Ontario or BC, do not buy plates because you're breaking the law. But if you're in Saskatchewan, Alberta, you're gold. So Simon from S&J Hardware, mainly to lead into the Dingleberry of the week, which was the former chief. The Dingleberry of the week is the former chief of the Saskatchewan Highway Patrol for running up the government P card on suppressors on an AR-10 on a 12-gauge shotgun when he was implicitly told not to buy a 12-gauge shotgun and all that other bullshit. He still did it anyway. So shout out to Simon for supplying him with a lot of that shit. So
fucking gold.
Yeah, the Dingleberry of the week is the former chief of the Saskatchewan Highway Patrol, who was just fired this week. So, who also is appealing his firing due to wrongful dismissal. So we have to wait till it's. Okay, sorry, that made me laugh. Rod Garcia and Tanya for working on the fence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Francois, you're drunk. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
We're calling Tracy
Fucking
Tanya.
autocorrect.
How that gets Rod Garcia. Okay.
Had to change a guard in the CCFR.
Oh, I deleted the CCFR ad, but let's play a quick video from Rod Garcia and the CCFR.
The idea of banning guns seems to appeal to some people. Let's explore this for a moment. There are currently around 36 million people in Canada. We believe there are up to 5 million people in peaceful possession of a firearm. 2.1 million of them are licensed. Licensed gun owners are very rarely involved in any criminal activity and almost never involving their firearms. Yet when criminals shoot each other, politicians deploy more penalties on whom, you might ask? Licensed gun owners, of course, because they're the only ones that would comply with the law. Consider this. Imagine your neighbor to the left of your house throws a wild party and leaves a bunch of trash on your lawn. You go to the neighbor on the right-hand side of your house and chastise him for throwing trash on your lawn. He tells you he hasn't done anything to you, but you don't care. Every night, the offending neighbor throws a party, and every morning you continue to escalate against your neighbor to the right. So what are your results? Your problem doesn't get solved. Your neighbor on the right is getting frustrated with you because of your unfair treatment of him, and tension begins rising in the neighborhood as a result of your irrational behavior. So where's the intelligence or moral high ground in any of this? There can't be a simpler or more accurate allegory than this to describe how the government fights criminal use of firearms in Canada. When a city is experiencing a spate of gang shootings, the most ineffective leaders call for a ban on handguns. Who does a ban on handguns affect? Licensed gun owners. Precisely the people who aren't doing any of the shooting. The only positive outcome in this situation is that it becomes very easy to identify a leader who has absolutely no answer to the city's problems while trying to fool his constituents into believing that he does. Check out a short essay complete with information from StatsCan on this topic at gundebate.ca.
There you
He's a
go.
rather well-spoken dude, isn't he?
I want to give a shout out to that gangbanger for being COVID compliant with that mask.
No
Isn't
kidding.
that something?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What a humanitarian, that fucker.
Yes.
Dude. That was awesome.
Oh, shit.
Is it cool that we play videos here? I think it's pretty sweet.
That's
I
cool.
think so. Yeah.
It's a good update. Thanks, StreamYard. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Our
Yeah.
final firing position. Shout outs here. For me, this week, it's my buddy Jens for trying to get me to join the boys in Regina for a shoot this weekend. I'm sorry, pal. Unfortunately, thanks to COVID, I am no longer a part of the construction management team at a prominent construction company.
I'm working on that.
I'm taking pretty much any odd job I can get. And this last week, it was running an excavator in the fucking hot weather.
As long as you're not working on the 17th.
I think we can make that work, pal. Camping at Pike Lake and shooting at Rooster's Rifle Ranch. Absolutely.
Thanks for the invite, fuckers.
Hey,
Thanks for the invite
listen.
last time, Sean.
We could.
Right.
We have 10 people.
Okay.
Awkward.
Your little tiff aside here. Let's carry on.
Who's that?
Sean, you know you're invited anytime, pal. Sean, what
I
do
don't
you
know
got?
if I want to go now. Fuck you guys.
Aw.
Anyway.
I'll bring extra tissues. Let's go.
Oh, please. That'd be awesome. My shout-outs, Ben Abramoff and Gordon Gessner, Gordo from XRO, Extreme Range Outfitters, for taking a load off. No homo. They took a load of Snake Queens off my hands for the auction. So if you guys get a minute, check them out, extremerangeoutfitters.com. They got a ton of shit on there. So not just guns, but components and everything. So check them out. That's my shout-out for the week. So
Nice.
All right. Maddie, what do you got?
I'm going to give my shout out to Daryl at TNT Gunworks in Regina. Gave me a smoking deal on a muzzle brake from my 6.5.
Goddamn right, Daryl.
Daryl's a fucking beat. Yeah, that guy.
Ryan?
Like I said before, I had like an Oscar list. You'd have to play me off, but we talked about a lot of them.
Hell,
So-
let's have it. What the hell?
So, all right. I mean, I was going to whittle it down. But, like, first
Speed it
off,
up.
like, okay, Todd Heisey, Matt Ritchie, Keenan Feeney at Veteran Hunters, they had me out this week shooting a
Beauty.
bow for the first time because I'm hoping to do a veteran bow hunt sometime this fall. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, shout out to Cappy for stepping on my dick all the time. Yeah, I guess we got a lot. I mean, Rob at Caber Arms for doing some Cerakote jobs, Chris at Veteran Welding, Rob for being my business partner. You guys for having me on. That's it. I whittled it down.
Yeah.
Send me that list so I can add it to the show notes.
Oh, all right, man. I'll do it.
Robbie?
Yeah,
Rob?
man. I mean, well, I got to give my shout out to Ryan then because we definitely wouldn't be where we are without Ryan. That guy's, his knowledge is awesome. So, but I tell you what, we're blessed with some tremendous partners, like Ryan said, we've talked about tonight, some industry partners, but like people like MDT, they dropped some new chassis this week with that XRS, as well as some different inlets, and they really worked hard to get us in the lineup to make some of our customers happy. So love those guys, man.
Sweet.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beauty.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
That was a great fucking show.
Pretty
Awesome,
much
man.
There's so much more to talk about too.
So much more,
Yeah,
man.
too.
We're gonna have to have you guys on again. Maybe next time I'll do it face to face. Next time I'm in Tabor or Brooks or whatever, I'll make the
Dude,
trip
if you
down.
go to
that'd be-
Tabor, let me know. We'll hook up for sure.
Yeah, for sure. No, we'll definitely have to go to what's that bar downtown that I like? The Peelers.
The Zoo?
No,
In Tabor?
no.
That's the 7-Eleven?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that one, and I don't think I want to.
This sounds horrible.
There.
So gooey.
Apologies to my buddy Wes Stevens. He's super pissed at me. We
Aw.
still haven't had him on the show, but you know what? I'm trying, buddy. But we got so much going on. We're just too big for you, man.
Just too big.
Wes, we'll try next week. We ran out of time for you, and we'll maybe try next week. We'll see. Big shout out to Monster Truck for the use of their music on the show live on air tonight. And if you're listening on Apple, Stitcher, iTunes, Google, wherever you get your podcasts, check out my buddy John Johnston, a colleague of mine at the ag equipment manufacturer that I work for, and his band, the Dirt Road Scholars, for this kick-ass music. Check them out. They're in the southern U.S. They're amazing. So, yeah, that's it, boys. Thanks, Matt Shirley, for coming on last minute. I forgot to ask you last
Thanks,
week.
Jess.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, thanks, Jess, for putting up with our bullshit. Yeah.
Loving the beard, man.
Nothing but beard. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you stroke it.
No.
That camping trip took a weird turn.
No.
There's that military homoerotic shit again.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Boundaries, man. Fucking boundaries.
No, boundaries bad.
No boundaries.
Crew tent's
No, I-
good.
I was never military, but private sector.
We're civvy side. Boundaries.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Stay
Appreciate
deadly. Rock and roll.
it. Stay deadly.